Right now at 6, drivers across southern Wisconsin hit the roads for their New Year's Eve. We'll have live coverage of the road conditions.
Plus, my one Madison Alder says the liquor license for an area nightclub should be revoked.
And if you're still deciding how to bring in the new year, we'll tell you what you can do locally to celebrate.
This is News 3 at 6.
Thanks for joining us. It is an alert day. Freezing rain, snow showers, flurries falling across the southern part of the state.
Let's check in with meteorologist Dana Fulton.
Right now we have heavy snow showers for us in Madison. Big fluffy white flakes. I brought the ruler out just a little bit ago, and we've picked up over 2 inches of snowfall on our backyard patio in the last few hours. And we're expecting anywhere from 1 to 2 inches around Madison. I could say we're at 2 inches now. Wouldn't be surprised if we're more in that 1 to 3 inch range for us now throughout Dane County. But that's just in Madison. Notice in the southeast corner of the state, we are still seeing rainfall. In fact, that dividing line where we're currently seeing a little bit of sleet still draped through the southeast corner of Dane County, starting to cross into Rock County now. Janesville, you're still seeing showers, but if you get to the northwest corner of Rock County and almost all of Greene County, we're seeing snow right now. Same goes for Jefferson County, that dividing line moving right through the county currently. Overall, we are all going to be dealing with snow here at some point in time. So we do have an alert day in the forecast. We're expecting the snow to continue to fall up until about midnight, so another ½ an inch or so expected in Madison. Slippery roads certainly out there right now. So if you do have any travel plans still for your New Year's Eve, you're going to want to plan ahead and make sure that you give yourself a little extra time on the roads and maybe see if you have a friend with four-wheel drive available. Currently 31 in Madison. It's a little cool outside with that breeze coming from the north. About 14 miles per hour in Madison, closer to 9 in Janesville. For the next several hours, our temps will fall. By midnight, we're near 28. A few flurries still possible for us heading into tomorrow morning, but New Year's Day should hold some sunshine. We'll take a closer look at that full forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Dana. So far today, we've seen rain, sleet, and now snow.
This made the street division's job pretty difficult, essentially waiting to see what would come next. Amanda Quintana live out on the roads with why this event made things so difficult. Amanda?
Yes, well, we are showing you some of these side streets. You can see the snow is still coming down. It doesn't seem as heavy as it was about an hour ago, but still a lot of snow on these roads. We've seen a few people try to stop at a stop sign and they just couldn't end up going. So there's still a lot of snow on these side streets still. Now, one of the main issues why the job was so hard today is because the crews weren't able to go out and treat the roads ahead of the snow because of that rain. On the last day of 2018, Madison is expecting rain, freezing rain, and snow, fitting it all in before the ball drops, making for a messy welcome to 2019.
Well, we bought the tickets like a week or so ago, so we don't really have a choice. Like, we're just going to go anyway.
For out-of-state visitors like Bill and Sam, they'll make the most out of it.
We still have fun even though the weather's not the best, so, you know.
And for many, the party must go on. It's how you get there that's causing some worry.
Events like this are probably the most difficult to plan for.
Because the weather event began with rain, that prevented Madison street crews from pre-treating the roads with salt brine and doing any anti-icing.
And when it rains, it just puts it into the gutter, so we have to wait.
And they did. All around the city, it was a waiting game to see when the rain would turn to snow, allowing them to start salting. But at that point, the trucks are playing catch-up.
As much as we are proactive and we're doing everything we can, you just can't stay in front of it. Just please respect the weather tonight. You're not going to probably see 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of snow to tell you, hey, slow down. But sometimes that inch of snow, when the conditions are right on the road, is just as much, if not more dangerous.
All of this making for a rough and slippery night, one when the celebration just can't be rescheduled.
This is a big night for a lot of restaurants, a lot of, nightclubs, entertainment businesses. So, hopefully, people still come out.
Now, on top of all of this snow, the streets crew is also preparing for maybe some freezing drizzle afterwards. That's just something that they need to prepare for. Now, if that does happen, they're worried about the side streets that we're on. If that freezing rain or drizzle is on top of that, that can make for some really, really slippery conditions. Back to you.
Yeah, everybody be extra careful out there tonight. Amanda Quintana live on the roadways out there. Amanda, thank you.
Law enforcement agencies across the state are continuing their Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. Many are teaming up to offer free rides tonight. Metro Transit will begin its free service running tonight from 7 all the way until 3:30 tomorrow morning. Police also encourage you to take a cab, Uber, or Lyft. Officials also ask that you're considerate of those drivers working to keep you safe.
I usually can smell their liquor on their breath. I can tell by how heavy the smell is, you know, as to how they might be, you know, from inside.
Keep in mind, though, with so many people out, surcharges might be pretty high. A Wisconsin prosecutor will announce whether any police officers will be charged for fatally shooting a software worker who opened fire on his fellow employees back in September. Middleton Police Chief Charles Folk says Dane County District Attorney Ishmael Azan will release his findings next Monday. 2 Dane County deputies and 2 Middleton police officers were in a shootout with 43-year-old Anthony Tong inside WTS Paradigm's Middleton offices. Tong was fatally shot. 3 people were also seriously wounded in the attack, but survived. All 4 officers have been on paid leave during the investigation.
A 35-year-old woman facing charges after she stabbed a man Sunday morning who didn't pay the full cost for sex, according to police reports. The Monona Police Department says officers responded to the Quick Trip on East Broadway for a report of a stabbing. Officers say Tanisha Fowler exited the store and was tased. She removed a knife from her pocket and was arrested. Fowler told police the man involved in the incident had agreed to pay for sex and then later refused to pay her for all that was owed, so she stabbed him in the hand. 51-year-old Gregory Mariva was also arrested on suspicion of prostitution.
One person was injured yesterday afternoon in a drunken ATV rollover crash. Sauk County emergency officials were notified just before 5 p.m. of the incident on County Road P near Herwig Road in Delona Township. Crews were told a man was injured and pinned underneath. The caller was able to get the man from underneath the ATV so he could provide medical care. Investigators say both men had been drinking alcohol before the crash. They were cited for first offense operating an ATV while intoxicated.
Madison's District 15 Alder circulating a petition to revoke Vision's liquor license. David Aaron says it's a response to the shooting that took place there earlier this month that has resulted in 4 charges so far. The petition would be used as evidence of public support for the revocation of the Alcohol License Review Commission. Aaron says the volume of police activity at the club warrants action.
It's very unusual for the commission to revoke a license, but this is a very unusual case. Having 100 police calls in less than 2 years is a very serious matter.
And Aaron says he hopes to present the petition in January with the Alcohol License Review Commission, reviewing that case by February.
Well, if you're still trying to figure out how you're going to ring in the new year tonight, look no further. Our partners at Madison Magazine put together a list of 48 events taking place tonight.
News 3's Rose Schmidt shares a family-friendly option and a glitz and glam event as well as you cheer on the end of 2018.
The year is 1925. Or at least soundcheck at the Sylvie might have you believing it is.
We decided to kind of do a throwback party back to the 1920s era, so this is a great Gatsby New Year's.
This will be the first New Year's event the Sylvie has held since it opened in September, and this room will be filled with 1,500 people.
The response out of the gate was pretty huge, and we've been selling tickets pretty steadily for the past couple months, but we sold out a couple days ago, and we're pretty excited about it. It's going to be a fun night.
But if dancers, jazz musicians, and 20s era cocktails are not really your thing, a coffee house in Middleton is offering a more relaxed event.
It's very family friendly, more low-key than typical New Year's parties.
Adrienne Holbert Stroud just opened Common Ground this year. She closed down early Monday to prepare for a New Year's event of a different kind.
We were fortunate enough to take over an event called Geezer's New Year's that was hosted for, I believe, over a decade at the Roxbury Bar, which has since closed.
Geezer's New Year's is exactly what it sounds like. A chance for old geezers and people of all ages, really, to watch the metaphorical ball drop, just a little early. The band will do a countdown around 9 or 9:30.
And everybody can be home by midnight, relaxing or going to sleep, I guess.
But whether you're young or old, plan to stay up late to hear the music play, or turn in a little early, Madison has a little something for everyone.
That's Rose Schmidt reporting for us tonight on the New Year's Eve festivities. To check out the full list of 48 ways to celebrate New Year's, head to our website, channel3000.com.
A new East Side nightclub will be opening its doors just in time for New Year's Eve. Crucible is a club that will feature goth electronic dance music, genres the owner says is lacking in Madison since clubs like The Frequency and The Inferno closed. The crew is still working on putting the finishing touches before the launch tonight, but they say they have high hopes for the venue.
Any art scene flourishes when you have an increasingly diverse set of participants. And so it's great to have sort of pop music clubs downtown. It's good to have all of those genres, but I think that the more diversity you can get into the artistic space in a city, just generally, the more vibrant it will be.
The club will officially open with a New Year's party tonight.
More to come on News 3 at 6. Officials are warning of an invasive bug found in evergreens.
We'll tell you how you can make sure it doesn't spread to tree farms in Wisconsin. That's next.
Welcome back. An invasive insect threatens to infect trees here in Wisconsin unless consumers properly dispose of their Christmas decorations.
Our Madeline O'Neill joins us with what you should know when taking down your wreath this year.
Eric and Keely, as of now, you don't have to worry about trees themselves, but inspectors have found an insect called EHS in evergreen products like wreaths, boughs, and porch pots. It eats away at trees, and it's hard to control with pesticides, according to the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection. EHS has been found in products sold at large chain stores, not evergreens grown locally, like at the Hans Christmas Farm in Oregon. But the bugs can find their way to Wisconsin trees if consumers aren't careful.
It's not just a Christmas tree problem. I believe that it should be a state problem that people should be worried about. Balsam firs are native to Wisconsin. They grow very easily here in Wisconsin, and it's not a disease that we need in our state.
If Wisconsin residents don't know where their evergreen decorations were grown, DATCAP says not to compost them or put them out for collection. Rather, the agency urges people to either burn the evergreens or put them in a bag and take them to a landfill.
All right, thank you, Maddie.
Thanks, Maddie. Ahead at 6, the Packers looking ahead now to 2019 after this painful season comes to a close.
And how the season of giving is continuing for the Dane County Humane Society. And we're ending 2018 with some wintry weather. Meteorologist Dana Fulton has your first alert forecast when we come back.
Dane County Humane Society's Wildlife Center is raising funds to treat a fox that has been rescued.
The fox was found suffering from external wounds in a window well Friday night. He's in the process of growing back his coat of fur and getting to a healthy weight. Workers at the Humane Society say that if all goes well, the fox will be with them for just a few months before he's ready to return to the wild.
He looks really bad. He looks worse than a lot of other foxes that we've seen. However, his blood work wasn't too bad, so that was a really good sign. They're very dramatic cases, like, you know, they come in and they look horrible, and then when you release them, they have this beautiful red coat again.
The Dane County Humane Society is looking for donations to help this fox and other animals like it. You can find out more on our website, channel3000.com.
All right, let's get the latest on what the weather's doing out there. A lot of people trying to get ready to head out for their evening plans. Dana Fulton has the very latest. Dana?
Hopefully they have a pretty solid travel plan in place at this point, Eric and Keely, because the roads are a little slippery right now. We are leaving our alert day in the forecast for tonight as the snow continues to accumulate. Initially, we were leaning closer to that 1 to 2 inches possible. I just stuck the ruler in the backyard patio, and we were just over 2 inches for us in Madison. So probably going to lean a little closer to the 3-inch line. Some isolated areas may see up to 3 inches for Dane County. Some smaller or lesser amounts of accumulation expected towards the southeast corner, because in that area, they're just now starting to transition from rain to snow. Slick roads all around central and southern Wisconsin, regardless of what sort of precip you've been seeing for the last several hours. Looking at our high-resolution Doppler, it seems like for the southwest corner of Dane County, we're starting to see some lighter snowfall rather than that thick, heavy, dense snow that we've had for the last few hours. Still seeing that on the eastern side of the county and also all throughout Rock County right now, just transitioning over to snow, and that's continuing to push east, that freezing line driving southeast for us, and we're starting to see a bit of a break in the snow up towards La Crosse. So overall, the snow trend is going to continue to move east for us. Again, Janesville right now finally transitioning over to the snow. And we're going to watch that snowfall taper off over the next several hours as our cold front continues to drive away. Messy New Year's Eve, not just for us in Wisconsin, but also for folks stretching all the way from Chicago throughout northern Indiana and then off into the New England area as well, dealing with a bit of rainfall this evening. Our snow is going to start to wrap up as we get closer to midnight. That's some good news. We'll see just a few light flurries still lingering in the area, but not this heavy, dense snowfall for us. Travel plans, though, for the next few hours, do expect to have some slippery and slick roads, especially on those side roads. If you're traveling to anyone's house for this evening, definitely make sure you're careful on the roadways. Into tomorrow morning for New Year's Day, we're expecting temperatures to start off in the low 20s and really hover close to 20 degrees throughout most of the day. Not really warming up too much for us in the afternoon, although our sky conditions will improve a little bit. We'll get a little more sunshine for us later in the day. Wednesday morning, we start off very cold. Overnight low temperatures will be close to 10, with our wind chills actually looking in the single digits for us, close to 0 possible, and then some sun expected throughout the day on Wednesday. We do still have our winter weather advisory until 3 o'clock tomorrow morning for most of central and southern Wisconsin. Of course, that's really just because the roadways are so slick right now. That's why that winter weather advisory is in effect for us this evening. Downtown right now, honestly, it's a beautiful sight for us for New Year's Eve. Although it feels a little more like Christmas Eve than New Year's Eve. Today we did hit a high of 34 degrees, which is why our precip in Madison did start as rain and then transition to snow. Overnight, we're expecting our snow showers for the next few hours. We're going to fall close to 22 degrees heading into tomorrow, barely getting to 23 tomorrow, and that's where we stop. We may see a few light, very isolated flurry spots to start off the day, but not really expecting any snowfall for us throughout the rest of the morning or the afternoon. Some sun possible late in the day on Tuesday. Overnight temperatures into Wednesday, again, very cold, and then we have sunshine for much of the rest of the work week. A nice start to 2019 for the work week. And then as we get into the first weekend of 2019, our next big system is going to come in to start off next week.
Well, the Packers packing up to close out 2018 and a lot of lessons learned this season. That story from the locker room coming up in sports. Well, it is about that time. Locker room cleanup for those teams that will not be in the NFL postseason. And as we all know, the Packers are part of that club for the second season in a row after losing to the Lions 31-0 yesterday. The Packers finishing the season with a 6-9-1 record and in third place in the NFC North in the team's 100th anniversary season in a year marred by the expectations of Aaron Rodgers coming back and the firing of head coach Mike McCarthy. This one definitely stings, but the guys say a lot to learn from this year.
Just all just burning up inside, that's all. I just want to be great, that's all. I just want us to be great. So we just can't wait for next year.
It's weird, like last year felt like babies and this year kind of feel like veterans, but we're not veterans. And we're just the guys in the room who've been there the longest. And it's just a weird feeling, but you definitely feel more comfortable in year two. You had a year under your belt. You know the system, you know the coaches, you know the schedule, you know your way around town. It makes everything just easier. It makes you be able to play faster, you know the playbook better.
And it's also that day in the NFL known as Black Monday, the Monday after the regular season finales, where coaches are let go. 6 head coaches have been fired in the last 24 hours. Meanwhile, the Packers' potential coaching carousel continues to swirl. Yesterday it was Pat Fitzgerald. Today, several outlets stating that the Packers have requested an interview with Steelers offensive line coach and former Titans head coach Mike Munchak. He's in pretty high demand. The Dolphins and Broncos have also asked to interview him as of today. The Packers have also requested to interview Titans offensive coordinator Matt LaFleur. The Badgers women's basketball team knows how to protect its house this season. 3 straight wins at the Kohl Center coming into this afternoon's matchup against Purdue. The Badgers, led by 3 at halftime, extended it in the third quarter. Kendra Van Leeuwen hits Kelly Carlos. Carlos led Wisconsin with 17 points. Suzanne Gilreath scoring 8 straight points for the Badgers in the middle of the third quarter to extend the lead to 53-36. And Verona's Alex Luring helped finishing off Purdue. Luring went inside off the glass for 2 and then nailed a 3-pointer that just beat the buzzer at the end of the quarter. Purdue made a run, but the Badgers holding on to their first Big Ten win, 76-69 at the Kohl Center. They're at Penn State on Thursday. The men's team dropping out of the top 25 in the top 20 rather in today's Associated Press poll after losing to Western Kentucky over the weekend to finish out the non-conference schedule. Wisconsin now 10-3 on the season. They'll host Minnesota on Thursday. Marquette moving up 2 spots to number 16. The Bucks with some street cred to close out 2018. They have the best record in the NBA with a 25-10 record. The Bucks closing out the year on Saturday with a win over the Nets. They'll play tomorrow hosting the Pistons at Fiserv. The Bucks are 16-3 at home. Giannis Antetokounmpo named Eastern Conference Player of the Week for the second week in a row, averaging 30 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists in the last week. So, despite the Packers, we're going to end things on a high note. The Bucks are pretty good.
I feel like Giannis has been Player of the Week like every week.
Fourth time this season. Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yep,
yeah, we look forward to them and eventually the Brewers. Now the Packers.
Yes, we got a couple months for that.
Are in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
All right, Dana.
So we're looking at an alert day still in the forecast for tonight because there's so much snow still falling throughout Madison. We're at 2 inches for us here on our backyard patio. A winter weather advisory is in effect for most of central and southern Wisconsin for this evening until 3 a.m. So that takes you through when the ball drops. For New Year's Day, plan on sunshine in the afternoon. Afternoon highs barely close to 20. We'll be in the low 20s throughout the day, and we'll get a little sun to start off 2019. But please drive safe, drive carefully if you're heading out this evening.
Very good advice.
All right, thank you very much. Keely, thank you for helping me as my voice continues to heal. We'll see you back here tonight at 10.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.